Hi, welcome, and in this video we're going to implement some statements regarding to the use of QStackedWidget. So I would like to continue developing until I reach the part where we're using the QStackedWidget. And regarding the main idea of these videos, to give you the code and to give you the easiness to implement your persistent in your conveniences. So the first point is to define the macros to the header of the CE view. To put it this way, build the project and see if we have any compilation error. Wait. To continue, we will instance the widgets that will be declared in the header, so we need to go to the CE view and continue this part. And the widgets that we're going to use are the children of the QStackedWidget. So what we need to do is to instance them and make them a child from the QWidget that we are using now, that is the CE view, just to have to handle them as a child, even though they are they are elements from the QStackedWidget. So export QPage new widget. Yes, and don't forget the conclusion page. New conclusion chat. Yes. It's better to see if we catch any error. Everything is fine. So the next part is talk about the QStackedWidget, and QStackedWidget is a container of widgets that will present only one widget in front while the others are hidden. So we can go and say okay, pages F1 and see the actually I would like to there's QStackedWidget. And this is the documentation of Qt, specifically with the QStackedWidget class. Now we have the list of the public functions, public slots, sign-outs. But what I would like to see is the detailed description, where you can write and have code samples, so how to use it. Actually, we're going to use this example where we instantiate some widgets, then we are editing to the QStackedWidget, and after that we just set a layout. Then I would really recommend you to see all this documentation. That is very important to understand the implementation or how many functions you have to use in this class. So let's continue. Then the stack widget is named pages. We're going to add the widgets that we might use, that are the three that we are listing there. For me, this was the easier approach to present the widget, because I can encapsulate the functionality of every widget and pass the responsibility to a stack widget or just present them. So I'm going to add a widget, subject page, pages, add widget, cover page, So I would like to add the cover as a default page. So this is been doing, but if you say set current widget cover page, So I think that we also need to handle the rules that we're going to use in the backward chaining algorithm. We're going to handle them in the subject page. I would like to explain that further. But what we're going to do is to create a Q vector. Have an object called inference kernel, and we got the rules. Just in case, we're going to sort them. The rules. And that's it. So now what we need to do is to define some functions to make the subject widget handle the rules indexes from the knowledge base. Actually, this Q vector, the get rules, they aren't the sentences that we have in the knowledge base. Actually, they are only the indexes of the tree. So we're going to define the functions get rule range and the set rules, and define some other operations that we might need to use. And the reason the subject widget needs to handle the rule is because we are going to process backward chaining algorithms based in the buttons that the client will press in the subject widget. Therefore, we're going to pass to the subject widget implementation of the definition, and now we're going to include some headers as QSet Q vector. And the next step is to do some forward declarations. For declaration, the subject handling. So we are in the part that we have. Then we need some forward declaration, and we say that is here is there. Let me talk about in this way. As Q push down. As Q just in case, and we also will need the class Q jump group. This is implementation that we're going to use later, so don't bother about that now. Now we're going to define the explicit subject widget constructor that is here, but also we're going to create two functions, one that is returning a QSet of int, called get rule range. Get rules range is const. And a setter we need also a private member that is any errors, just name a type vector. Sorry, I just confused the standard C++ with Qt. So next we go to the refactor, and our definition is subject widget.cpp. So it's easier to do here. I create a temporal subject rules vector and iterate from begin to the length inside equal to plus okay, this is the return value of this function. This is because that we're going to use set mainly because there are some widgets functions that require the QSet, and I know that it's not appropriate to use QSet, and it's not appropriate to do that responsibility or change amount type of containers. It's not the real responsibility of subject widget, but I prefer to define an object already done, but to figure out any other class to define this conversion. Nonetheless, it's a good practice to define classes by their responsibility. So get rule range will insert rules from a specific range to a container, and let's imagine that we have a knowledge base of 10 rules: rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4, rule 5, 6, rule 7, rule 8, rule 9. Come on! So to perform the backward chaining, we need to define the range that we want to infer. And other ranges that are important and we don't like to infer.